Hey folks, welcome back to Hey Dad. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about something that is a matter of life, no matter who you are, and that's money. Whether we like it or not, money is important. And to me, lately the economy has seemed really unstable. I work for a state university, and as is often the case, when inflation rises and unemployment rises, tax collections fall, which means states make budget cuts. So the big question for me lately in the last few months has been, am I going to have a job tomorrow? So far, I still do. But who knows if that's going to change in the next fiscal year? You know, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life when it came to spending, paying bills, saving money. But thankfully, over the last couple of decades or so, I've gotten better step by step at managing my money. So now I worry less when it's time to pay the bills or if the economy hits the skids. Here are the top 10 things that I do to live frugally and plan for the future and save my money. First of all, let me say in advance, I am not a money manager. I am not a certified financial planner. I am just a worker bee who has set some goals in life to spend money in the best way I can, to save money in the most productive way that I know of, to get help as I need it, so that I can reach my retirement goals and eventually stop working. Okay, step number one, have a budget. Track your spending. This is one of the great things, I think, about the internet that compared to my youth, when you balanced your checkbook, and it was so difficult. I had to wait for my monthly statement from the credit union to arrive in the mail, and I swear I was always off by a few dollars. Now I can track my spending in the moment on my credit union app anytime I want. I use a common spreadsheet to set up my budget and track my purchases. Every common category is on there: food, insurance, transportation, clothing, entertainment, electricity, on and on. When payday comes, I go through my checking account and my credit cards, and I record every purchase that I've made on those two cards, because I almost never use cash. I also record the amounts that I transfer from checking into savings, where I'm building up for payments that happen like once a year: home insurance, property taxes, daughter's summer camp, that kind of thing. Most of the time, I come in slightly under budget. But sometimes I'm a little over, $70, $100. So every 3 to 6 months, I adjust my budget as best I can. You know, it brings me a lot of peace of mind. I know I can sleep well, knowing that my bills are covered. And this all goes for things like travel, even when I'm going on a trip. Let's say to Palm Springs or New York or a cruise. I set a budget for the trip based on my research. Then I figure out how much I need to save each month for that goal, and I do it. Maybe it takes me a couple years to save for a trip, but then I can do that Caribbean cruise and not have to put it on a credit card. Budgets are great things to live by for daily life and financing your dreams like travel or buying a home. Okay, number 2, go debt-free. Try to live a debt-free life, if at all possible. Pay off your credit cards monthly or quickly. Cut down on the number of credit cards you hold. Just one. There is a place in life for credit cards, like making travel arrangements, or showing that you can handle credit. It helps your FICO score, so that you can qualify later for something like a mortgage with a low rate. But generally, I live with no credit card debt these days. In fact, over the last year or so, I've managed to pay off my mortgage too. And in just a few months, I will pay off my car loan. I will soon be totally debt free. I think this is a really good thing. Limiting or eliminating debt gives you a great feeling of stability and freedom. Not to mention saving you the interest and fees, which can now go toward other important things. Okay, number 3, use a credit union, not a bank. I gotta say, I think consumer banks are always a less desirable choice. They have more fees, they have higher penalties, and frankly, their customer service sucks. I've been managing my money with a credit union for about 3 decades now. And when I had a mortgage, even then, it was with my credit union. When I was looking for a high interest savings account, I didn't have to go to a commercial bank. I found it with my credit union. And it matched the major national banks within like 1/10 of a point. Credit unions save you money and trouble. So go with a credit union. Okay, number 4, automate your savings and payment of your bills whenever you can. Save into a 401k or something like that automatically from your paycheck. Since I was about 30, I've had a fixed percentage of my income deposited into retirement accounts. 4 to 5%, lately 7%. And over the decades, I've stored up a substantial sum, more than $100,000. And more recently, I've been doing the same in high yield savings accounts. The goal there was to build up the equivalent, in the savings account, the goal was to build up the equivalent of 3 months of salary in case I lose my job. Then I have some immediately accessible cash to live on, and I've succeeded in doing that. Now, part of this automation I suggest, for the sake of your credit score, is automate your payments as well, like insurance, electricity, water, natural gas, whatever you can automatically pay on a certain date. If you're like me, you don't automate payments and you're going to pay all of them on time or most of them, but then there will be that time when you forget or you're 5 days late and suddenly you're billed a $30 late fee because you forgot. You had the money, you just forgot. You're human. So auto payments will at least cut down on that sort of thing and save you the occasional late fee and protect your credit rating and gives you peace of mind. Okay, number 5, shop at thrift stores and outlet stores. I used to hate thrift shops. I usually found them to be dirty and the clothes were poorly displayed. They were crammed in and piled up. But a year ago, I tried a new thrift store, and no, they're not sponsoring me, but I really love it. It's called Deseret Industries. I think they're owned by the LDS Church. And you know what? It is always clean and neat. It's like going shopping at Target. All the clothes have been washed and pressed before they're even put on the racks. They have a big selection. The staff is always friendly and helpful. They have dressing rooms. And the prices are reasonable. $5 for a shirt, $8 for pants. It's not the cheapest thrift store around, but its quality is so much better and reliable. I don't leave feeling dirty. Also, there's this outlet store near me for a popular outdoor clothing brand, and I love that one too. The other day, I bought a new pair of hiking shoes. Normally, it would have been about $100 retail. I paid $30 during an end-of-season sale. I am a big fan of outlet stores and thrift stores now that I've found a few that are good ones and work for me. And besides, I don't buy much clothing anymore. I've already invested in some really good, solid quality pieces a long time ago, like for men, sports coats, slacks, suits, dress shirts. Now all I need really is knock around stuff for casual work and play. So number 5, consider those discount opportunities for clothing. Okay, number 6, plan your meals and your grocery shopping. For years, I've been pretty good at this. I've been shopping at one of the basically 3 lowest priced grocery stores in my region. Right now, that happens to be Walmart Neighborhood Market. And this part is key. I keep a shopping list, then I order online, so I'm not tempted to buy things that I don't need when I walk by a display. And usually I will plan dinners for a week. And then Walmart will pack up my order, and then I simply drive over and pick it up. I don't even enter the store. I get advantage of their online sales. I can still use coupons when I order online, and I avoid temptations to buy things I just don't need or aren't healthy for me. And I avoid the extra costs of delivery fees and tips. So I think it's important to limit the processed foods you consume and to buy cheaper whole foods and fresh or frozen foods. Don't buy prepared meals. They really aren't healthy and they're very expensive. So I think planning your meals and shopping online and going to pick up is a really great thing to do if you possibly can. Okay, number 7, limit your use of utilities. I'm talking HVAC, things like that. I try and keep the temperature of my house in winter at 67, and I regularly wear a sweat jacket around the house. On sunny winter days, I open the blinds to let in as much sun as I can. In the summer, I keep the AC thermostat at 76, and then I close the blinds on the side of the house that's getting direct sun. And finally, I also participate in special utility programs with my provider during peak energy use times. It doesn't save a lot, but it saves a little. They credit my bill when I cut back on my usage during peak times, like during heat waves or ice storms. That generally happens about 3 or 4 times in August and maybe 2 or 3 times in like January, February. I save about $5 each time, so that can easily cut my bill during a month of $10, $20. I think that's an important thing to do. It really cuts back on paying for things like air conditioning and heating. Okay, number 8, economize on your transportation costs. Now, I admit that I have a crazy attachment to cars. You know, I got my license when I was 16, and I bought my first car when I was 17. And since then, I've owned 15 different cars and trucks. But 12 of those 15 were used when I bought them. And 3 were hybrid vehicles or electric. Right now, I have an electric car, and I can't tell you how much I love driving by gas stations and noticing those gas prices of more than $4 per gallon and knowing that I can just go home and plug in my car and get the equivalent of about $8, $8.50 to fill my battery for 250, 300 miles of travel. Also, whenever I go downtown for a concert or a play or to do some shopping and strolling about, I ride the train or the bus. I avoid those downtown parking fees, and I find riding the train or bus to be relaxing. When I had gas-powered cars, usually I had also changed the oil and filters myself, and that easily saved me $100 every 3 to 6 months. And if you can live without a car, do it. No fuel, no oil changes, no maintenance, no insurance. That can save you a lot. Just buy a transit pass if that works for your lifestyle. And number 9, limit your subscriptions. Okay, I use a discount reseller for cell service. They resell the Verizon network. So I get access to the full 5G service at home and around town, but I pay about half as much. Right now, I'm using US Mobile. I pay for my line and my daughter's line, and I get unlimited text, unlimited talk in the US and Canada. I get about 5 gigs. My daughter gets 5 gigs of data, and I've limited my data 10 gigs because we just don't need unlimited data. Because at home, where I spend most of my time, I have Wi-Fi. So I was paying $70 a month when I was with Verizon, and now I pay half that, $35. I also subscribe to the local web version of my newspaper. I stay away from cable news. I do not subscribe to cable. I try and stay away from social media too, because it's really, most of it can be really toxic. And the entertainment and streaming services like Netflix, HBO, Hulu, Disney bundle, I do subscribe to some of those. I also subscribe to Amazon Prime, but no cable, no satellite TV. I cut the cord on those a long time ago. And on the rare occasion when I want to watch broadcast TV, I have an antenna. I do it the old-fashioned way. Because it's free. Might as well. Okay, and last of all, just make do. Make do with what you have. Don't buy the latest cell phone or computer or video console. Just get by with what you have until it doesn't work anymore. When a TV breaks, do you really need 4 of them? Can you get by with 2 or 3? Can you get by with less? If you need a new appliance, can you buy it at a thrift store or a discount store? Your bike is broken, can you fix it? Or can you buy a used replacement? Look at your consumer needs with a kind of recession mindset. Sew buttons back on your shirts. Mend the hem of those pants that the hem has gotten torn. A seam has gotten torn. Sew it up. So, it's a frugal way of living. And those are the 10 rules I live by to have a mindset of frugality and still have everything that I need. It's been nice talking to you. Best of luck. I'll see you again.